All right, let's move on to right backs. I'll kick this one off. I drafted Brendan By first, Aaron Herrera second, Steven Moreira third, Julian Gressel fourth, great pick, and Nathan Harriel five. And two of those guys let me down. One being Herrera at 81 points, and the other being Harriel at 94. And I thought Harriel was going to take kind of a jump forward this year and be kind of Philly's guy instead of flip flopping, flip flopping, flip flopping, which of course did not happen. Um, he played 25 games, but just did not produce the way he expected to. A lot of times he's coming off the bench or what have you. In terms of Aaron Herrera, only 19 games played for Montreal, and this was a move that I was big on. He did very well in RSL, and he just didn't really step up to the plate. And the only thing I'm going to check here really quick is to make sure he didn't get hurt this year because I mean, again, Montreal, nobody really talked about too much because we were all expecting them to finish bottom of the league. Yeah, he didn't miss any time, so he just kind of never fit into that system, whatever system Montreal ended up using. Um, and the last one that I think hurt me in I guess with respect to expectations, and it was due to a season-ending injury in August. That was Brandon By. So Brandon By finished with 100 points, 102 if you want to be specific about it. But he missed 16 games from August to the end of the year with his big injuries. So another one that hurt me, especially considering you hit three of yours pretty much out of the park. Moreira was fantastic for me in terms of fantasy, as well as Julian Gressel. So, um, yeah, I'm happy with the way that I drafted that. Disappointed with the way that some of them turned up, and of course, Brandon By, you can't stop Brandon By, or you can't blame Brandon By, I guess I should say.
It's a great thing that you were able to cheat on this one and you still managed to lose. It's fantastic news.
Cheat? What do you mean cheat?
I'll explain that in a minute.
Oh, you're gonna say,
So,
"Oh, Steven Moreira played center back, so he shouldn't count
so
for your right."
I
Blah, 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 blah,
drafted
blah, 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 blah.
I drafted Brooks Lennon, Julian Araujo,
Nice.
Jack Moore, Alex Roldan, and Keegan Rosenberry. Brooks Lennon had an enormous amount of points, 215 fantasy points, versus Julian Araujo having 0 fantasy points.
That balanced out real good for you.
It did. Thank goodness for Brooks Lennon saving me. Yeah, Julian Araujo moved to Barcelona. So, or sorry, UEFA Lona.
Try again.
So did not broke Alona.
Europa Lona or Broca Lona. Yep, both are acceptable. UEFA Lona means that they can get into the Champions League, and we don't do that.
Well, I was talking about like UEFA the organization
Gotcha.
because they have them in their back pocket. Anyway,
Gotcha.
yeah, Shaq Moore and Roldan had pretty solid seasons fantasy points wise. Keegan was a little bit lower, and he didn't miss a ton of time. He missed some games, but I think it's just a product of Colorado's poor season this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get to my point on the cheating part, technically, if I go to who scored and I go to the right back position and I look for people who had played at least 10 times as a right back this season, 4 out of the 5 of your players did not qualify.
You
So you just picked a bunch of people that played in positions other than right back.
all right. So firstly, let's talk about this. Firstly, we had a conversation about um Julian Gressel, whether he counted or not. I know you remember that because we he would not have fallen to four if we both agreed from the start. Oh yeah, he's a right back because he plays advanced, right? Steven Moreira was a right back, then Nancy changed the system. So um, that right there, allow it because you can't control a shift. Also, if you're wondering which player made me change to the fantasy versus ratings, Steven Moreira. And then who was the you're talking about players who didn't qualify. So who else didn't qualify?
Herrera and Harriel.
Why didn't they qualify?
They did not have the Maptis playing at right back.
Where else did they play?
I will look it up for you.
All right. While you do that, I'm going to say that the averages worked out to be very, very close on this. So my average for these players was 123.6 fantasy points. Your average was 125 flat, which meant that I made up a little bit of ground, but not a super like large amount. So the average went 115 to me and you were 124 and a half. So I started closing the space a little bit, but not immensely.
Harry Al, if you're wondering, played like in 5 different positions this year. He
Oh,
had
so
8
he's just the
appearances
next
at right
Ryan
back.
Hollings.
Yeah, he had 8 at right back, 7 as a sub, 5 at right mid, 3 at center back, and 2 at left back.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then Herrera, I think Herrera they have technically classified as a right mid.
See, and that's the other reason why this was tough is because a lot of teams who play with the five back, those advanced players, you're not sure what they count as, because who scored counts them differently than other people. So
Yeah, they got him at 7 as a right mid, 7 as a defensive right mid, which I think is the wing back, 3 as a sub, and 2 as a center back.
gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, at least all of mine played. So Dub City population me.
I'm just trying to help you out.
And I'm only saying that because I can't brag about it after this next section.